Hey, what's up, guys? It's Hassan with the Struggling Day Trader channel, and I'm here to go over my trades for the day. Today was a lot better than yesterday, but still not great. Today I tried to focus on not trading on the 1 minute chart. I've noticed that a lot of times I'm right on the stock, but my entry is just a little premature. And it's really because of the 1 minute. I'm getting so many signals on the one. And the 1 minute is not really that reliable. It's really choppy. The trade action is choppy. Sometimes the one trade's really nice and clean, but a lot of times it's easy to get chopped up. And so I'm trying to focus on my entries on the 5 minute, a little more reliable signals. And so, yeah, today was my first day trying to do that. Let's check out how I did. Coin. So, as you can see in the beginning, all right, so typically I still keep the 1 minute up during the first open just so I can draw a line on this high volume, right? So that first candle that comes in usually has the highest volume of the day. But as you can see, we also had higher day's volume up here. And I'll go ahead and mark the top of that as well. So, as you can see, let's go back to the 5 because this. All right, so at the point that I bought this guy was a nice big green candle that was just breaking over that. And I guess I liked this candle because it had a long wick at the bottom and it was a higher low from this one. And tested VWAP and all that and pushed right back up. But this was terrible. You really you can't trade anytime you're trading. You can't just be stuck on one time frame. This was clearly not the time to buy. Looking at this 1 minute chart, this was after a run up, 2 big green bars basically. But it was just really choppy in the beginning, and we don't really want to mess around with the chop when it hasn't really decided what direction it's going to go. It's just moving back and forth in a range. So I got chopped up, right? But even looking back, just looking at the 5, there's no real good trigger here. It's just throwing darts at the wall, basically. It's so funny how in the zone, you're like feeling like you're trading a strategy, but when you go back and look, it's like, man, what was I doing? So I jumped the gun here because my trigger order is always when the next candle breaks the high of what I would consider a trigger candle, right? But as you can see, this is just the top of a candle. It didn't break the top of any other candle. I just kind of FOMO'd in right here above VWAP. And yeah, it didn't work out at all. So I entered here, then I added here, and got stopped out here. So this entry and add, it looks terrible on the 5. So yeah, I failed, right? And then here at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm trying to get it back. It looks like it's holding this level, and here it is breaking over VWAP. Let me go ahead and get in. I might even enter that on the 1 minute. Let me see what that looks like on the 1. Nope, trash on the 1 minute also. Oh, this one doesn't look bad on the 1. So I entered this one on the 1 minute. And see, this is why I'm trying to leave the 1 minute alone, right? Because this is a decent signal, right? Hammer bar at this high volume support. I call this high volume support where I draw this line over the opening candle because of this high volume that comes in, right? So for me, the way I play, I consider this high volume support, and I want all my entries to happen above this line and above VWAP, right? So on the 1 minute chart, this looks like a great setup, right? Even though we got a double top here. We come back down. We make a higher low, right? Nice green bar. Put an order in to buy the next break over this high. I do that. Boom. Trades down from that point. Stops me right out. Looking at the 5 minute though, this is not an entry, right? So had I appropriately been considering the 5, I would have stayed out of all of these trades, right? So this is 2R lost on both of these. Now I'm watching the 5, comes down and retests this support level. Then it makes a high, and then we got a higher low. Okay? It's hanging out around VWAP here. We broke VWAP and we didn't trade too far beneath it before we started coming right back up. So what do? I put an order in. Now technically, this is a rule break. The price action is beneath VWAP, and my rule is to not enter stocks below VWAP on the bottom side of VWAP. Especially not right underneath. Like if I'm going to enter it, it needs to be an extended, far away from VWAP, double bottom that I'm trying to catch a reversal back up to the top. But this was not that. But we had the volume. It came down here with volume, went up, kind of retested this area here, and then made a nice move up into VWAP, traded through VWAP, came back down, and kind of hung out right there for 5 minutes, right? That means this stock traded there for 5 minutes, staying in this area. And then you look over here, and you got a new high here and a higher low here. So it's not terrible, right? And then it makes another higher low right here. So it looks like it's going up. So I go ahead and take a little position here with a nice wide stop down to there. It trades up over that area, right? And then it comes back to retest this HVS line and the previous high. And got a nice narrow range green candle here after 2 reds. That's pretty decent, right? So now I'm adding to the position because I'm nicely up from where I was, and I can move my stop up with this add and still have nice room for it to wiggle and still maintain my risk of 1R. Which is $25, right? And now's the fun part. So once I'm in the position, I really like to manage on the 1 minute. And this turned out to be a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Like, we had a lot of fun trading this one. When I was choosing my target, I looked back here on the hourly, and the previous, look at this high volume candle here. This candle went up to 239.98. So I had a good feeling that we could get up there pretty close to 239.98 or 240 area. Now, when I'm looking for a target, I'm not picking the target on the penny. I'm not going to put in 240 because everybody's looking at that level. I want to just sneak out with my shares a little bit before that level. So I put my order in at 239.84, which also happened to be my average position was at the 84 cent. Right? And check it out. Did we take profit at the right time or nah? Like, look at that. Beautiful take profit at the tippy top. This candle went up to 239.90 and I took profit at 239.84. You can't be mad at that. Like, that's as good as it gets right there. And then I sold most of it. I had like 25% left of my shares, which was like, let's see, what was I at? I had 20 shares, so I sold 15 up there. I have kept 5 and stopped out 5 right here. And yeah, so I was negative on coin 2R. I was down at least $50 on coin and made out with 95.20. So that's an awesome trade. Very happy with that. Worked out real good. We was grooving in there off of that one, man. I was in there like, yeah. All right, so let's journal about coin. So what happened? First entries. I'm gonna pile those first couple ones in together. First entries got chopped up in opening moves. Did not wait for a proper entry. Rules were broken. Need to wait for price action to smooth out, right? We want the waves. We want the nice waves, the higher highs, higher lows, not the chop. The chop, you get chopped up in the chop. You don't want the chop, right? See how it starts getting wavy and making nice highs and lows, highs and lows. It kind of chops here. This is consolidating, but it just gets more predictable when it starts actually waving, you know, versus the crazy up and down. You got top end tails and bottom end tails on every candle, you know. But again, that's why we're trying to focus on the 5-minute entries and leave alone the 1-minute entries. 1 minute is great for managing your trade, for looking for places to move up your stop, or looking for places to add, or looking for places to take profit, because you can see where the volume's coming in on each individual candle. So need to wait for price action to smooth out. Wait for that picture perfect entry. That one where it's like, ooh, look at that. Like, that is a good entry right there. You know, that's what you want to wait for. A lot of times I'll take all these like overzealous trades at the beginning, and then I'll be down on my P&L to where I don't feel comfortable risking when I actually see that picture perfect entry. So like on SMCI today, I had to sit there and watch this picture perfect entry because I couldn't risk being wrong, you know. I couldn't risk going in there and losing another trade because I was already down on my day and I'm already digging myself out of the hole. So if you just save your money, save your ammo for those perfect shots, it'd be a lot better, man. You make a lot more money for sure. Because without all those reds, it would have been a nice day today. It would have been a real nice day today, you know. But hey, man, we're here to work through the struggles. Yeah, so that's good for coin. Let's check out Square. Square. All right, so let me put my where's my Epic pen? Come here. Put my circle around there. All right, I like that better. Okay, so Square. Let's put this HVS in here for reference. All right, now this actually, the high volume didn't come in until way up here. So let's put one in here just to see how it trades in that range. Okay, so what is this entry here? Somebody tell me. I have no idea. The third green candle up. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe on the one. Let's see what the one. Okay, so maybe I thought this was. See, this is these false signals on the 1 minute. Like, okay, yeah, that's a nice little bottoming tail on there with volume. But it's at the top, right? We haven't pulled back enough to justify that. I mean, I guess I was kind of looking at this little top here, but this isn't really that significant, you know? And this is literally the reason why I want to focus on the 5. That's why I want to focus on the 5. So, get stopped out there. I actually went in with 100 shares, stopped out half here, and then stopped out the rest of the half there. So that was just a bad trade. But again, you got to keep your head in the game so you can keep, you can see with your eyes the next opportunity, because it might come right after you get stopped out. Which a lot of times the candle that stops me out is a great trigger candle where I want to put a stop order on top of it for the next candle to break. So that's what I did. Here we have a testing that lower day again. We did go down a little bit past it, but we got bought right back up. And then we came and made this nice narrow range red candle here with a little bottoming tail. You can't really see most of it because of my execution there, but little bottoming tail, and I liked it. It was holding its level, holding VWAP. So I put in an order, triggered in there, stop underneath this candle here, anyway, stop underneath there, and I let it roll, right? And at this point, I'm feeling good about it. It's making higher lows. It's making higher lows, and I really want to add to my position because I don't have much at this point. So I'm looking at the 1 minute, because when you're buying on the 5, you're gonna get up high sometimes. So I'm looking at the 1 minute, and is that what made me get in? I don't know what was going on here. I think I was just peeping this level here, and I wanted to get in above this right here. That's what happened, and I think I missed it there, so I put in a limit order to get back in right over the area of that candle. So I was in the money enough to where I had some room to just kind of try to get the best price on some shares that I could, and I was able to move my stop up right under here, right under this level, and it worked out great. I was able to recoup my losses from the first trade and close out up a little more than 1R on this ticker. I took profit up here and stopped out right there. So square. Just again, have to wait for the setup. Never enter after 2 green bars up. That's a hell no. Of course it's going to pull back after that. Ridiculous. Also, you want to enter in a place where you can put your stop nicely below VWAP, because VWAP is my main part of my strategy. VWAP is like my support. And you always want your stop underneath support so that you give your support an opportunity to keep the price from hitting your stop, right? If your stop is above VWAP or at VWAP, when it comes down to test VWAP before it bounces, you'll get stopped out, which is what happened both of these times, right? I stopped here, but it really didn't go past VWAP. But my stop was up so tight because of this terrible entry, right, that I got stopped out. But anyway, when I got in here, I was able to put my stop below this lower candle, which is nicely below VWAP. And next time it came back down to test VWAP, my stop was down here. So it didn't come anywhere near it, right? So much so that I had room to add and then raise my stop up to here. And when it came down, it doesn't test. It doesn't break it. And at this point, the market started pushing up, and it worked out great. Now, NVDA. Excuse me. My thing about this one is, what is the first sign of an uptrend? Higher high, higher low, right? What do we have here? Here's our first low of the day, bottom of this opening candle. We make a high, and then we make a lower low, right? A lower low. So this is the first sign that we're going to downtrend, right? Then we go and make a lower high, which is lower than this, right? So we're still worried about the downtrend at this point, right? Now we make a higher low right here and hold VWAP. Okay, so that's the first sign that we might have some bullish tendencies. Then we make a higher high and a lower low, but it buys right back up to VWAP, and then we hold VWAP on the next candle. And I like this entry. I couldn't share size really big because I wanted to put my stop way under this candle. I could have share sized enough to put the stop just under this candle, but I had already been stopped out a few times that morning, and so I really wanted to allow my stop some room. So I went in with 5 shares, put the stop down there, and hey, that 5 shares started doing work. Got in at 883.87, and here we were up at 896, 897.24. I had my eyes set on 900, so I was very slow to take any profit, and I moved my stop up to here at this point and ended up getting stopped out in the green, but very small green, not enough to make back what I had lost here. And I'm pretty sure I lost more than 1R on that first trade because I shouldn't be that down after just one trade. Yeah, I think I should have went half share. I didn't get enough shares on this one either. I mean, I got too many shares here. So I probably ended up stopping close to 2R. And so this just gave me back by like $6-7 stopping in the green right there. So NVDA, wait for more confirmation, i.e. higher low at support. Yeah, it's like a fine line of being aggressive and taking profit and letting the stock work so you can catch those big moves like I caught on coin. If I'd have been really aggressive, the move, I would not have captured as much of the move as I had. So it's just it's that fine line you got to walk with being aggressive and letting your winners win. Letting your winners run, right? They say let your winners ride, keep your losses small, and let your winners ride. Sounds good, but it's very difficult. It's in practical sense, it's a lot easier said than done for sure. All right, AMD. So here we go. Same thing, right? Here's our first low where we start out, where we open at. We'll make a high and then a lower low. Right? And then a lower high. Why am I interested in buying here? And we're under VWAP? No. This is a no-no. Bad. Bad, Hassan. Bad trader. All right. This is nice on the 1 minute, but we don't trade the 1 minute anymore. So, what did that look like on the 1 minute where I stopped out? Excuse me. Yeah, see, we're below VWAP. That's a huge rule break. AMD, no entries just below VWAP. Like, the entries below VWAP have to be far from VWAP. Like, because VWAP's like a magnet. And if the further it gets from VWAP, the more likely it is going to pull and trade back up to VWAP, right? So if you want to trade a reversal, you really need a lot of space in between where you want to enter, and VWAP. So yeah, this just was right underneath it. Of course, it's going to trade up to VWAP and then trade right back down. Like, this is, for people who are short selling, this is a great entry. Right? So you got to be thinking about that, the upside of the upside downness of the pattern. Like, look at that on the 5. If that isn't a great short entry right there on the 5, I don't know what it is. I don't even short, but I know that's a good entry right there. Anyway, so that didn't work out. It's making lower lows, lower high. So of course it made a lower low. Like it only makes sense. For confirmation, higher high, higher lows. All right. So that's a big takeaway from today. Waiting for that higher high, higher low, right, to show us that first sign of the uptrend. Okay, then we make a lower low. I'm trying to think how I justify getting into this bad boy. This 208 level. I'm sure I had this 208 level marked out from some previous day. As you can see, it held there in aftermarket yesterday. Let's see. Let's put our line in here and see what we see there. I mean, but anyway, let's see what we saw here on the one. So, what was the SPY doing at this time? What was this? 11:33-ish. Okay. I think that's what it was. I saw the SPY. The SPY had moved over VWAP, right? And look at this candle. All this volume came in on this pullback and got this nice hammer candle right here. So I felt like the market was going to push up higher. And this also is, these two candles here are nice reversal indications. So I gave it a shot. And it had a nice space up to VWAP. So I went ahead, gave it a shot, stop under there, and put my take profit order at VWAP. Because when you buy underneath VWAP, VWAP has to be your target because it could very well bounce there and move down again. Because it's on the bottom side of VWAP. That's what we expect to happen when we're trading on the top side of VWAP, that it'll go up, test VWAP, and then move up, keep moving up higher. So I did very well, taking profit there. I really wanted to hold because I felt like it could go higher, but I've been burned so many times. And it's just a practical rule to take profit at VWAP when you buy below VWAP. So took profit there, let it ride, ended up just selling it all pretty much in the same area, getting stopped out. I wasn't being aggressive enough. I think I was talking a lot too in the chat, so I got to be mindful of that too. I appreciate everybody that stopped through in the chat today, though. That was really cool. I'm really delighted when people stop in and chat with me and you know, share what they got going on. And I'm happy to look at charts and stuff for people. But yeah, I definitely could have been more aggressive. This is a very high turnaround bar right here. When I see that, I usually like to put my stop loss right underneath this candle, you know, right there, so that if it trades below that, I get stopped out. Because oftentimes this is what it looks like when it's about to turn around, and sure enough, that's what happened, you know. So I did make that to there, and that was enough to bring myself from a red on this ticker to green on this ticker. So that was nice. Okay, let's check out SMCI. I've been trading this for a couple weeks now, since like I think maybe it was at 600, 700-ish. Jumped the gun again. I jumped the gun the same way on all these stocks, right? It made lower lows and lower highs, and for some reason I decided to get in numerous trades like this today. I needed to be patient and let it at least pull back. Like, this is just consolidating right here. There's no actual pullback and retest of a lower area. This did that, but this is a really long range candle. I really like the shorter range candle. And although these are nice short range candles, they're just below VWAP, and they are really long range candles because of that, because I'm going to put my stop under the lowest wick in the area, which is that. So I got stopped out there, and I think that was it. Yeah, I didn't do anything else on there. That was a wrap. Even though this turned out to be an okay signal, but the range is too wide. With a range like this, that means I got to put my order in at the top of this candle and my stop at the bottom. But this is a huge candle, right? That's a $14 candle. Whereas if I could get in on a narrow range candle like this, you know what I mean? That's only a $7 candle, $7.54. So I can get more shares, right? Higher risk to reward. Now, this is the candle I was talking about earlier that I really wanted to buy, but I had already risked too much on the day. I was already down, and I didn't have the confidence to jump in there and get on that. But look at this. Nice narrow range candle, right? Kind of traded sideways and then dipped down right here, and buyers bought it back up. Look at that. This is a $6 candle. Less than $6 candle, right? So I probably would have put my stop underneath there, which would have been like a $7 stop. $7 stop. I would have wanted $14. Let's see if we could have got that. 741.26. So 14 would be 755.26. Where do we go? I'm talking about 11. I'm sorry, 11. 1155.26. Where do we go? 1162. Easy money. This would have been easy money. This little narrow guy right there, you got to drag your stop up and let that stop you out, and you're out of there. Easy run up. $14. Right off of this beautiful candle right here. Beautiful entry candle here. So that's the thing. If I wasn't chopped up and I was just in the green, I would have been happy to try this trade. No problem, no sweat. But you really have to manage your risk and decide when it's time to stop risking. You know, you got to give yourself an opportunity to win. And I've been digging myself out of the hole the last 3 days. And yesterday, I did not get dug out. Yesterday was a bad day. So that's why we're here, though. I'm trying to work through these struggles and share my mistakes with you guys, and maybe you guys can learn a little bit from them as well. So SMCI, again, wait for confirmation. Higher high, higher low. That's all you got to do. And wait for a narrow range entry over VWAP. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, let's check out ARM. ARM did terrible on. Here we go. Look at this. It's just the same mistake over and over again today. Like, what happened? I don't know what I was thinking about. You know what? I just had a hard time sitting there, though. Because I'm on the 1 minute. I'm constantly presented with opportunities on the 1 minute. On the 5, it's like the signals are way fewer and far in between. And so I'm just sitting here on my hands and I'm like wanting to trade. And so I'm turning non-triggers into triggers just with my eyeballs by staring at them long enough. And I'm jumping into these trades that don't really make any sense. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green candles in a row. I mean, whatever, you can count that or not. 8 just went almost straight up. And then I buy that, which was probably a green candle when I bought it. Like, come on, bruh. You're not expecting a pullback anytime soon? This was overdue for a pullback. You could have pulled back right here. You know? So, again, this is a lower low and a lower high, and I'm just jumping on in there. What would have been better? Wait for this higher low. This isn't a higher high, but this is a higher low right here, right? So if you want it, you could have jumped in there and put your stop below VWAP, and you would have got up to there. Easy peasy. What is this? This is a less than 50 cent stop So that means you only need to make $1 for 2R. The top of this is 137. We got all the way up to 138.56. Right? I doubt I would have taken profit there, though. I probably would have stopped out. The market just came and just murdered this candle, though, right here. What is this? 130. Show y'all what happened at 130. Yeah, this is what happened at 130. So can I be mad at myself? Yeah, I can. This is what happened at 130, right? The whole market just like pew, and the Fed was speaking all day, so I knew I could expect some wild things to happen, and so I probably should have been more aggressive with my stop, knowing that. But yeah, I was waiting for at least. I would have waited for at least high of day before taking profit. But I would have been able to live with myself entering on the break of this candle than this crap. You know, this is crap. No excuse for that. So, yeah, let's see. What do we got to say about ARM? Same thing. Same thing. Wait for confirmation. High, high, low. And wait for it. Man, I am so sleepy right now. Yeah, so my biggest takeaways that I need to take with me tomorrow is to wait for a higher low. You know, at bare minimum, I need a higher low plus VWAP, over VWAP, and HVS. At least need to have that going. And also a narrow range entry candle. If I can get those three things to line up, narrow range meaning a smaller range, like see this is a really long, a wide range candle, right? And this one is a lot more narrow compared to it. And all of these candles right here are a lot more narrow compared to those candles, right? The narrower the range, the better the risk to reward. Example, this right here, this is perfect. What's this low? This is 136.34, 136.34. We got a double bottom on the 5 at VWAP, narrow range hammer bar. Like, that's perfect. What do you want? What else do you want? But I couldn't get in there because I was already digging myself out of a hole. I was negative like 2 something. At some point. So got to be careful. But look, that would have been a great entry. Could have taken profit there. Or just held it and wait for the bigger move, which looks like it's about to make right now. You know? So patience is really the biggest thing. It's the hardest thing to do, but it's the most profitable thing you can do, is to be patient. And if you are patient, it's better for it to miss you than to jump in a crappy entry. That's for sure. Having FOMO just leads to stupid decisions. Like, rarely do I FOMO into something like, oh man, I'm just glad I jumped in. Like, nah, usually FOMO leads to destruction. So just another day at the trading desk, struggling through the open, trying to be better than yesterday. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be better today, and hopefully you join me. Hit that subscribe button. I'm here every morning at 9:15, trading the open. Got my trade screen up, my level 2's up. You can see me as I'm entering and exiting, putting my stop orders in, getting stopped out. My sad faces, and sometimes we partying. Either we sad or we grooving. You know what I'm saying? We having a good time in here. So I'd love it if you hit the like button, and if you threw me a subscription. I'd love to see you in the morning. Thanks for watching. Peace.